There is a certain type of person who moves through life without a center. One day they stand for something. The next day they abandon it. One day they speak about honesty. The next day they justify lies. One day they talk about loyalty. The next day they choose advantage. Their values change with their situation. Their beliefs change with their benefit. Their words change with their comfort. This kind of person is not confused. They are calculated. They do not lack intelligence. They lack integrity. They do not struggle with direction. They struggle with character. They adjust their principles to fit whatever helps them win in that moment. When things are easy, they speak about fairness. When things become difficult, they speak about survival. When they need support, they talk about unity. When they gain power, they talk about independence. Their identity shifts based on what gives them control. You can feel this type of behavior even before you fully understand it. There is a tension in the air around them. There is a lack of consistency in their tone. There is a coldness behind their smiles. There is a calculation behind their kindness. You sense it in your body. Your chest tightens, your stomach feels uneasy, your mind becomes alert, your instincts whisper that something is not stable. This is not imagination, this is awareness. A person who changes principles for advantage does not see values as truth. They see them as tools. They use words as masks. They use morals as costumes. They use beliefs as shields. They use loyalty as a story to gain access. Their actions follow benefit, not character. Their loyalty follows opportunity, not connection. Their truth follows profit, not conscience. This makes them dangerous, not because they are loud, but because they are flexible in the wrong way. They can stand beside you today and walk over you tomorrow without guilt. They can promise safety and bring harm without hesitation. They can speak kindness and practice cruelty without conflict inside themselves. This is what makes them unpredictable. Not chaos, but calculation. Not emotion, but advantage. Not impulse, but strategy. Trust is built on consistency. Respect is built on stability. Safety is built on reliability. When a person has no fixed values, there is nothing solid to stand on. You never know where they truly stand because they do not stand anywhere. They move with benefit, not belief. They shift with gain, not growth. They change with pressure, not principle. Being around such a person creates quiet anxiety. You feel the need to watch your words. You feel the need to protect your space. You feel the need to stay alert. You feel the need to be careful. Your nervous system stays active because your mind knows you are not safe, not physically, but emotionally, mentally, and strategically. These people often appear confident, they appear charming, they appear strong, they appear persuasive, they know how to speak. They know how to present, they know how to appear trustworthy, but their core is unstable. Their identity is built on gain, not truth. Their decisions are built on profit, not values. Their loyalty is built on benefit, not bond. A person without stable principles cannot be trusted in any role of importance in your life. Not in friendship, not in partnership, not in work, not in leadership, not in loyalty. Because when pressure comes, they will not protect you. They will protect themselves. When risk appears, they will not stand with you. They will stand with advantage. When fear rises, they will not defend what is right. They will defend what is useful. This does not make them evil. It makes them unsafe. There is a difference. Not every unsafe person is cruel, but every unsafe person is unreliable, and unreliability destroys trust quietly. Strong people have clear values even when it costs them. Stable people keep their word even when it is inconvenient. Rounded people stand by their principles even when it brings loss. This is character, this is integrity, this is trustworthiness. Not perfection, but consistency. Not image, but identity. Not performance, but truth. You do not need people who are perfect. You need people who are real. You need people who are stable. You need people who are predictable in their values, even if they are flawed in their behavior. Because flaws can be worked with, lack of integrity cannot. When you encounter someone who changes their principles based on advantage, you must not fight them. You must not expose them. You must not challenge them emotionally. You must not try to fix them. You must observe them. You must understand them. You must limit access. You must protect your space. You must control information. You must manage distance. You must stay calm. You must stay aware. This is not hatred. This is wisdom. This is not fear. This is intelligence. This is not judgment. This is self-protection. Your life becomes safer when you stop trusting words and start trusting patterns. Your mind becomes clearer when you stop believing stories and start observing behavior. Your heart becomes calmer when you stop chasing connection and start choosing stability. Trust is not given because someone speaks well. Trust is earned because someone stands firm. Trust is not built through emotion. Trust is built through consistency. Trust is not created by promises. Trust is created. You are not here to save everyone. You are not here to fix broken values. You are not here to heal unstable identities. You are here to build a strong life. You are here to protect your peace. You are here to grow with people who grow. You are here to walk with people who walk straight. You are here to build with people who are solid. When someone shows you that their principles change with advantage, believe what you see, not what they say. Not what they promise, not what they explain. Believe what they show. There is power in distance. There is strength in boundaries. There is safety in awareness. There is freedom in discernment. You do not need to be angry to be careful. You do not need to be bitter to be wise. You do not need to be harsh to be protected. Calm clarity is enough. Quiet awareness is enough. Steady boundaries are enough. Your future depends on who you trust. Your peace depends on who you allow close. Your growth depends on who you walk with. Choose people with stable values. Choose people with clear character. Choose people with consistent behavior. Choose people who do not bend their principles for profit. Choose people who do not sell their values for comfort. Choose people who do not trade integrity for advantage. These people are rare, but they are real, and they are worth waiting for. There is another type of person who leaves damage behind them and then pretends they were the one hurt. They create problems, break trust, cause pain, and disturb peace, but when the consequences arrive, they rewrite the story. They change the roles. They place themselves in the center as the victim. They speak in soft tones. They show sadness. They display emotion. They talk about how misunderstood they are. They talk about how unfair life is to them. They talk about how people treat them badly. But they never talk about what they did. They never talk about the harm they caused. They never talk about the lies they told. They never talk about the trust they broke. They never talk about the damage they created. Their pain becomes the focus. Their suffering becomes the story. Their image becomes the priority. This behavior is not weakness. It is manipulation. It is control through emotion. It is power through sympathy. It is influence through guilt. They use sadness as a shield. They use vulnerability as a weapon. They use pain as protection from accountability. You feel it when you are around them. Your chest feels heavy. Your mind feels confused. Your heart feels pulled in two directions. Part of you feels empathy. Part of you feels unease. You feel pressure to comfort them even when you were the one hurt. You feel pressure to understand them even when they caused the damage. You feel pressure to forgive them even when they never took responsibility. This creates emotional confusion. This creates mental pressure. It's inner conflict. A person who plays the victim after causing harm does not want healing. They want control. They do not want resolution. They want protection. They do not want truth. They want sympathy. They do not want growth. They want escape from consequences. They turn every situation into a story where they are misunderstood, attacked, rejected, or betrayed. They avoid accountability by shifting focus. They avoid responsibility by changing the narrative. They avoid consequences by creating pity. This behavior traps kind people, it traps empathic people, it traps forgiving people, it traps those who care deeply. You start questioning yourself, you start doubting your memory, you start minimizing your pain, you start blaming yourself. You start wondering if you were too harsh, you start wondering if you were too sensitive. You start wondering if you were wrong. This is how manipulation works. It does not attack directly, it confuses gently. It does not dominate loudly, it controls quietly. This kind of person often knows exactly how to look broken at the right time. They know when to cry. They know when to sound weak. They know when to speak softly. They know when to appear fragile. They know how to trigger compassion. They know how to activate guilt. They know how to pull people back in. Their emotions become tools, their pain becomes currency, their sadness becomes leverage. They do not change behavior. They change stories. They do not fix damage. They shift blame. They do not take responsibility. They create distraction. They turn every conflict into a performance of suffering. They turn every consequence into a story of injustice. This is dangerous because it trains people around them to tolerate harm. It teaches others to accept disrespect. It conditions people to forgive without change. It teaches people to stay silent. It teaches people to accept imbalance. Over time, you stop trusting your feelings, you stop trusting your judgment, you stop trusting your instincts. You start walking on eggshells, you start avoiding truth, you start suppressing your voice. You start carrying guilt that is not yours. You start carrying shame that does not belong to you. This is emotional control, this is psychological pressure, this is manipulation through weakness. A healthy person can admit mistakes. A healthy person can take responsibility. A healthy person can face consequences. A healthy person can apologize without excuses. A healthy person can change behavior. A healthy person can grow. A manipulative person cannot do this consistently. They may say sorry, but they do not change. They may cry, but they repeat the same actions. They may promise, but their behavior stays the same. Their pattern never changes. Only their story does. You must learn to separate emotion from truth. Pain does not erase responsibility. Tears do not remove consequences. Suffering does not cancel harm. Being hurt does not justify hurting others. Feeling broken does not excuse breaking people. Everyone has pain, everyone has wounds, everyone has struggles, but not everyone uses them as tools to avoid accountability. Not everyone uses them to escape responsibility. Not everyone uses them to control others. Trust is not built on sadness. Trust is built on accountability. Trust is not built on stories. Trust is built on behavior. Trust is not built on emotions. Trust is built on consistency. When someone harms you and then plays the victim, watch their actions, not their tears. Watch their patterns, not their words. Watch their changes, not their promises. Growth shows in behavior. Healing shows in consistency. Responsibility. You are not cruel for setting boundaries. You are not heartless for choosing distance. You are not cold for protecting your peace. You are not wrong for walking away from emotional manipulation. You are not evil for refusing guilt that does not belong to you. You are not broken for choosing clarity over confusion. Compassion does not mean self-destruction. Empathy does not mean self-betrayal. Forgiveness does not mean access. Understanding does not mean tolerance. You can care and still leave. You can feel empathy and still protect yourself. You can understand pain and still choose distance. You can wish someone healing without staying in their chaos. Strength is not staying. Strength is choosing peace. Strength is choosing clarity. Strength is choosing stability. Strength is choosing truth. When someone harms you and then positions themselves as the victim, step back, observe calmly, watch carefully. Listen quietly. Patterns reveal everything. Behavior shows the truth. Consistency exposes reality. Do not fight the story. Do not argue the narrative. Do not chase validation. Do not demand accountability. Distance speaks louder than debate. Boundaries speak louder than confrontation. Silence speaks louder than explanation. Your nervous system knows what is safe. Your body knows what is unstable. Your mind knows what is wrong. Trust those signals. Protect your space. Guard your peace. Choose clarity over chaos. Choose stability over drama. Choose growth over guilt. Choose self-respect over emotional pressure. Your life becomes lighter when you stop carrying other people's guilt. Your mind becomes clearer when you stop accepting false blame. Your heart becomes calmer when you stop trying to save people who refuse to change. You are not responsible for fixing broken behavior. You are responsible for protecting your life. You are responsible for guarding your energy. You are responsible for choosing healthy connections. You are responsible for building a stable future. Never trust a person who causes harm and then hides behind victimhood. Not because they are weak, but because they are unsafe. Not because they are broken, but because they are manipulative. Not because they are emotional, but because they avoid responsibility. Safety is not about intention. Safety is about behavior. Trust is not about stories. Trust is about patterns. And peace is not built with people who refuse to face the truth about themselves. There is another pattern you must recognize if you want real peace in your life. Some people do not attack you directly. They drain you slowly. They do not break you loudly. They weaken you quietly. They do not create chaos in obvious ways. They create confusion. They enter your life as support, as friends, as partners, as allies. But over time, your energy starts to drop. Your motivation starts to fade. Your clarity starts to blur. Your confidence starts to shrink. You feel tired after being around them. You feel heavy in their presence. You feel mentally foggy after conversations with them. Not because they are loud, not because they are aggressive, not because they are dramatic, but because they are emotionally draining. They take more than they give, they consume more than they contribute, they pull more than they build. These people are not always evil, they are not always malicious. Many of them are deeply insecure. Many of them are deeply empty. Many of them are deeply lost. But intention does not change impact. Their presence creates imbalance. Their behavior creates exhaustion. Their needs dominate the space. Their problems become the focus. Their emotions become the priority. Their struggles become the conversation. Your needs disappear. Your feelings shrink. Your problems become too much. Your pain becomes not important right now. Your voice becomes quieter. Your space becomes smaller. Your identity starts dissolving in their world. They constantly need reassurance. They constantly need validation. They constantly need attention. They constantly need emotional support. But they rarely ask how you are. They rarely hold space for your pain. They rarely check your mental state. They rarely support your growth. The relationship becomes one-directional. Energy flows one way. Care flows one way. Effort flows one way. Understanding flows one way. You become the emotional provider. You become the supporter. You become the stabilizer. You become the container for their chaos. Over time, you start losing connection with yourself. You stop resting properly. You stop feeling inspired. You stop feeling clear. You stop feeling strong. You stop feeling motivated. You feel responsible for their emotions. You feel responsible for their stability. You feel responsible for their happiness. You feel guilty when you take space. You feel selfish when you choose yourself. You feel wrong for needing rest. This is not love. This is emotional dependence. This is not connection. This is emotional attachment. This is not support. This is emotional consumption. A healthy connection does not drain you. A healthy connection does not weaken you. A healthy connection does not make you feel smaller. A healthy connection does not make you feel guilty for having needs. A healthy connection does not require self-erasure. A healthy connection creates balance. It creates mutual care. It creates shared effort. It creates emotional safety. It creates stability. It creates growth. Emotionally draining people often do not realize the damage they cause, but that does not make the damage smaller. They normalize taking, they normalize needing, they normalize dependence, they normalize imbalance. They become comfortable being supported but uncomfortable supporting. They become used to receiving but unfamiliar with giving. They become accustomed to being centered but not centering others. This is why strong people eventually leave, not out of anger, not out of hatred, not out of revenge, but out of exhaustion, out of clarity, out of self-respect, out of self-preservation. They realize that love should not feel like depletion, care should not feel like burden, connection should not feel like sacrifice, relationships should not feel like survival. You are allowed to choose peace over loyalty. You are allowed to choose rest over obligation. You are allowed to choose growth over guilt. You are allowed to choose clarity over chaos. You are allowed to choose yourself without apology. Not everyone who needs you deserves access to you. Not everyone who depends on you values you. Not everyone who leans on you respects you. Not everyone who takes from you is grateful for you. Some people only recognize your value when you are available to carry their weight. Your energy is not infinite. Your mind is not endless. Your heart is not a bottomless resource. You are human. You need rest, you need support, you need space, you need balance, you need care too. The moment you stop overgiving, some people will call you cold. The moment you set boundaries, some people will call you selfish. The moment you choose distance, some people will call you changed. But what really changed is your awareness. What changed is your clarity. What changed is your self-respect. What changed is your standards. What changed is your understanding of what is healthy. You do not need to hate them. You do not need to fight them. You do not need to expose them. You do not need to explain yourself. You only need to protect your life. You only need to guard your peace. You only need to choose stability. You only need to choose clarity. Distance is not cruelty. Boundaries are not punishment. Silence is not hatred. Space is not abandonment. Sometimes distance is medicine. Sometimes silence is healing. Sometimes space is protection. Sometimes separation is growth. When you stop pouring into people who only take, your life becomes lighter. When you stop carrying emotional weight that is not yours, your mind becomes clearer. When you stop being the emotional source for everyone else, your energy returns, your strength rebuilds. Your clarity sharpens, your peace grows. Not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay. Not every connection is meant to last. Not every relationship is meant to grow. Some people are lessons. Some people are chapters. Some people are seasons. Some people are warnings. Choose relationships that strengthen you. Choose connections that stabilize you. Choose people who give as much as they take. Choose environments that support your growth. Choose spaces that protect your peace. Choose people who respect your limits. Choose connections that do not require self-betrayal. Your life should not feel like emotional labor. Your relationships should not feel like obligation. Your connections should not feel like survival. Your world should feel like stability. Your mind should feel like clarity. Your heart should feel like safe. Peace is not found in saving others. Peace is found in choosing yourself. Peace is found in balance. Peace is found in healthy distance. Peace is found in emotional independence. Peace is found in clarity. Peace is found in strength. Peace is found in stability.